Hey, what's up, everyone? Kind of wanted to do a quick update on the garden. I haven't done one in a while, but everything is looking pretty good, especially with all the rain we've been getting. It's kind of pretty much the end of my season. I only got a limited amount of time before I head out of town for a while, but it's everything's looking good. I mean, a quick comparison to the in-ground versus the containers. I would say in-ground all the way for my growing style. They may work much better for you in the containers, but for me, I have not touched these things. I really haven't done anything besides feed them twice and give them compost tea twice, and they have done nothing but produce for me pretty much all season. I only have one or two plants that really haven't produced. But hey, that's acceptable in my book. Some of these things are just massive. Starting back the corner over here, the Butch Teas, they're doing pretty well. This one Butch Tea has done nothing but produce all season long, and then this other Butch Tea, I've got its first ripe pod, which is a little bit different than the other ones. This one's actually like the pod I pulled seed out of. But I mean, in all reality, I've gotten probably 150 to 200, about 150 of them off of this plant. And they've done nothing but every time I pull them, they keep putting stuff in, pulling them, keep putting stuff in. Pretty excited about that. I've got, let's see, what else has been a really good producer for me. Over here, the Nagamorch. The Nagamorch is, a small, stout plant, but every time I pull pods off of it, they just keep sprouting back on here. I got a couple more ripe down here. I may have one more good harvest out of this before I head out, but these guys have been nothing but a good producer for me. All my boots, except for my yellow, have been huge producers. The brown, the peach, the chocolate, the giant red, the Indian carbon is amazing. I mean, I can't tell you. I mean, look at all those red peppers. I mean, they're everywhere. Let me see if I can get in closer for you. I mean, there's just nodes of peppers, not non-stop producing. Here is this is my Bujalokia red, and just to give you an idea of how large it is, this is about in between my hip and my armpit. So I would say somewhere in the almost pushing 4 feet range, and it's probably about 3 feet wide. And it's just loaded down. I mean, there's peppers hanging all over this red and turning in all different stages, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, you really can't beat this plant. It's done awesome for me. It's almost reaching to the other side of the row. These 7 pots, they were heavy producers in the beginning of this season, and then now they're just kind of hitting their second wind. There's a lot of pods hanging on them right now, but once I pulled all the ripe ones off of it the first time, they kind of slowed down. This 7 yellow has been a strong producer. I mean, I've got maybe 2 dozen pods off of it, and it keeps loading up. The Knot 7 white, which is just like a red mystery, huge producer for me. A lot of red pods been pulling off of this thing. I got more hanging off of this. Let's see, what's this? Oh no, yeah, they kind of all grow together. It's like a blanket of plants. The Primo's been pretty decent. I probably pulled a dozen pods off of that, and then now there's probably 12 more on it, but they're starting to color up. The Brockpore was huge producer in the beginning of the season, and now it's kind of taking a little bit more time to put pods back on, but I probably won't get any more right. There's one that I can pull off that's probably about starting to turn. I could pull off in another week or so. Jonah has been awesome. It's crazy. It's like it grows in this weird fashion, like this. It's almost like someone took a chunk out of the side of it. But it's been a good producer for me. I probably pulled 2 dozen pods off of this, 3 dozen maybe, and it's loaded up with more, and it's kind of just waiting for them to kind of ripen up. This is my cross-country nursery Douglas, and for some reason the caterpillars just love it. I mean, I can't get a right pot off of it because they are all just being pulled from, the caterpillars are just getting into them. This is my hippie seed company. It started really slow, but there's probably 30 pods on it now. And one of them is starting to ripen. I've already pulled a couple off, sent them to some buddies, pulled some seed stock from that. But But it's been a decent plant. If I had a longer time, I'm sure I could pull all these off of it and they would ripen. This is my yellow brain strain. I've only gotten 3 or 4 pods off of that, but there's another one that's ripening down at the bottom one, right there. What else do I got? Oh, this is my kind of my mutated brain strain. It's been okay. I probably got a half dozen pods off of this. Not a real heavy producer. There's just a couple more that are hanging off of it right now, but they're not going to ripen in time. My Infinity is now starting to pick up. I pulled about 6 pods off of it towards the beginning of the season, and now there's probably about a dozen hanging off now, or maybe a half dozen. One of them are starting to ripen. I really want to video review that one, so I'm hoping this ripens in the next couple days. The Vitali Red Savina, it's been a pretty good producer. Now I got like the second round of a bunch of ripening. My Douglas Cross, no pods have ripened off of this one. My Naga Cross, I can't stop pulling pods off of this thing. I mean, right here, there's another 4 ripe that are right there. As you can see, my container plants are just not doing hot. It's just, again, kind of the way of the containers. That's what happens when you don't really spend time on them. You don't have time for them. I replaced my red hob that kind of died for some reason with a container pot, and it's actually putting off new growth, so I'm pretty happy about that. These 2 habanero plants, both chocolates that I got from Jamie's Seeds, are amazing. I can't tell you how many pods I pulled. I've probably pulled close to 250 pods off of both these plants. Every time I come out, I pull off another 2 dozen or so. It's pretty amazing. I got like 2 gallons of frozen pods in my freezer right now. Francisca, no, nothing, not a single pod. Whatever happens. Black hob, pulled a little bit off. It's okay. I would rather just grow another chocolate hob if I had it. Peach Hobolokia, this plant has nothing. The one over there has got a bunch of them hanging off. My Bonda, this one's now starting to ripen. I've got a couple pods that are hanging that are ripe, which is pretty cool. I'm excited to give this one a shot. I haven't tried one of these yet, so I'm going to give one a shot. This is my Scotch Bonnet Yellow. This one, it had like 4 or 5 pods hanging off of it, then they ripened, and now there's like 2 dozen, so I'm hoping they can ripen pretty quickly. I want to make a sauce out of those. Fatalis, they had a whole bunch of them ripen at once, and then kind of putting off a new pod. These other pods are a little bit smaller than the first round, but they're still hanging in there. Maybe they start to turn. My Dottle, and not too hot, maybe got 1 or 2 pods off of this thing. My Peach Hobolokia doing okay. Yellow Hobolokia, a great producer. It's starting to set its second round of pods right now. Oh, there's one actually down there that's ripe, which is cool. This one's got more of a habanero. What's the shape to it? This is my Red Scorpionero. I sort of like, if you're gonna. This has probably been one of the heaviest producers. The chocolate hob, and my Butch tea are probably the most. I mean, I've got 2 gallons of these in my freezer, and they're nice and thick and heavy. These are the Red Scorpionero number 2s from Avi Joe. Great kick, great flavor, great heat, and they would hold up well to roasting. Maui Purple, probably won't grow these again. I don't really use them. Ghostweed, probably won't grow it again. Don't use it. The Pimenta and the Red Cheerios, both are huge, ridiculously large plants, but I mean, there's just too many little pods. I mean, they're cool, but they grow big, but it's just, I mean, I'm not going to use all these pods. I mean, there's 500 of them that are on these things, and I can't pull them off in time. These jalapenos, they just never stop. These biker billies are pretty amazing. I can't pick them all. I mean, there's too many. Every time I come out, there's more. Then some of the others, the Dottle Sweet, the Tobago Seasoning, the Ahi Yellow, that have Blossom End Rot, but they now seem to turn around, and my cayennes are doing okay. So, right under 10 minutes. Appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. Thanks for kind of following me in my season. If you have any questions or comments, please go ahead and leave them. Thanks for taking the time.